Yes, welcome everyone. Cannabis News with Joe Klare. It is March 5th, 2019. Presented as always by the Marijuana Times, marijuanatimes.org. Check out the video tab there to find the show. A bunch of great articles as well. A lot of stuff going on today, including record expungement when it comes to cannabis in San Francisco. Also, the latest data out of Oklahoma about medical marijuana. And we'll take a look at the Spike Jonze MedMen advertisement, the commercial that has caused all the hubbub in the community and the industry. That's right, I said hubbub. All of that coming up. But first, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. They are a proud sponsor of the show. If you're growing cannabis in a state where it is legal to do so, you want to check out Natureside. You don't want to use harmful chemicals. You don't want to use banned pesticides. Check out the organic, all-natural pesticides at Natureside. Nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Go check them out because they're awesome. This first story by Jason Sander at marijuanatimes.org. San Francisco expunges over 9,000 prior cannabis convictions. San Francisco recently became the first city in California to successfully expunge prior cannabis convictions with help from a tech-focused charitable organization called Code for America. The Office of the District Attorney for the City of San Francisco successfully expunged 9,362 cannabis convictions dating all the way back to 1975. This is according to a report from NPR. Both felony and misdemeanor cannabis convictions were expunged in the sweep. Programmers that make up the 501c called Code for America aided San Francisco in the process of expunging the cannabis convictions. According to the website, Code for America was founded in 2009 to address the widening gap between the public and private sectors in their effective use of technology and design. The organization works with citizens and local government to solve community problems. So they're able to do this and go back in and not go through all, make people jump through all the hoops here, to be able to go in with a computer and expunge these cannabis convictions. As Jason points out in the article, hopefully this is something that becomes a precedent, and these technological advancements are used elsewhere in the country to expunge cannabis convictions in the places, in a jurisdiction, states, whatever, where cannabis has been made legal. Because it was legal and you've been punished for it and it's on your criminal record, it really should no longer be so. This next story from dfw.cbslocal.com. It's a story out of Texas about Oklahoma. Oklahoma medical marijuana sales blowing up, top 7.2 million for the month of February. It's up from about 4.3 million in January as far as medical marijuana sales go in the state. We've talked about Oklahoma a lot, the speed and efficiency with which they've done what every other state in the United States seems to think takes 1.5, 2.5 years sometimes to get going. That is a viable medical marijuana industry, which they have going in Oklahoma. They approved the medical marijuana question back in June 26th. The industry has taken off quickly. There's nearly 55,000 Oklahoma patients, 1,100 dispensaries, and 1,800 growers. They've all been licensed since August. And yet, I've yet to hear of a single drawback of this. You would think there'd be cries of, oh, well, there's not enough regulation. It's the willy-nilly, and it's the wild, wild west, and it's the gold rush, and every other cliche you can think of. But it just seems like people are going to places and getting marijuana. And it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Which I've said for quite a while, but, apparently people didn't listen. It's not that big of a deal. And it's not that hard to set up a medical marijuana program and just, set up some parameters. Say, here's licenses. Here's a form you fill it out, send it in. We approve your license. Bam, go start a business. And we'll adjust from there. That's what Oklahoma's done. And it seems to be working quite well. I don't know. I mean, if success and a great amount of supply and many jobs and dispensaries opening, a lot of people growing marijuana, if all these things coming together in a short amount of time is deemed a success, then that's what I would deem Oklahoma. Obviously, they're still working on regulations and things to adjust and such, but it doesn't have to be such a long, drawn-out process. It doesn't have to be a year to create a form for someone to fill out to get a license for a dispensary. None of that's necessary. It can all be set up. Bam, boom, bam. There you go. I'm not good with sound effects, admittedly. It's not what you're here for. You're here for my sound effects ability. I'm not that guy from Police Academy. Now, if he's watching, we would love to have you on the show. You know, I'm looking at needing a co-host especially for sound effects, because I obviously suck at it. But barring that, this is as good as it gets. And this last thing, as I said, this ad, it's about 2 minutes long. It's from Spike Jonze and MedMen. Created a lot of controversy within the cannabis community and outside the cannabis community. Apparently Alex Berenson, the dillweed that wrote the book that we've talked about a few times, that's been debunked by many, many people, including some of the researchers that he cites himself. He didn't like it. Apparently, I'm just smart approaches to marijuana. Didn't like it. And I guess that's just too bad. There's some things they're just not going to like. Let's check it out. So from Spike Jonze and MedMen, it's called The New Normal.
Hey, you want to witness some history? Okay, back in the day, George and a few of our founding fathers had hemp farms. Yeah, a president grew his own. Look it up. It was normal. But you know what isn't normal? America's 80 years of unjust prohibition, which hasn't made us any safer. And then there's this. They came up with policies like stop and frisk, where anyone can get searched at any... All right, I'm getting a little off track, but the point is, these punishments have been harsh. Like 25 years in a prison, harsh. That's madness. Speaking of, you remember this classic bit of propaganda? Madness? How about wellness? How about everyday good people are using it to calm their pain, their stress, their anxieties? And a product that drove people to the black market is now creating a new global market. That's a lot of jobs. And the same thing that inspired the creators, the makers, and the disruptors. The symbol of counterculture is, at long last, just culture. It's normal again. Here's to the new normal.
So there you go. Like I said, from Spike Jonze and MedMen, The New Normal, the ad. You can find it on YouTube. Obviously, visually, it's amazingly done. The stories, anytime you can put connect humanity to using this plant to help people and having the choice to do so, that's a good thing. And woven some history. The narrator, I could have done with someone, just subjectively, he wasn't my cup of tea, but he did what he was supposed to do, which was get across. I don't know if the narrator was Spike Jonze or someone else. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to pick Spike Jonze's voice out of a lineup. And I guess I could have looked it up, but it really doesn't matter. I think they should have got someone else to do it. But that's who did it. And like I said, he did what he needed to do, which was get across the points that need to be gotten across in the 2 minutes. And the best thing it's doing is creating discussion around legalization and around the history of legalization and how prohibition came to be. And that's always a good thing. We draw attention to the history of marijuana prohibition. It always works in favor of those who favor legalization and marijuana law reform. So in that way, it obviously does its job as well. That's going to do it for today in Cannabis News. Thanks everybody for watching and listening and sharing, commenting on the videos, all that good stuff. I do read your YouTube comments. Again, if you comment on Vimeo, I'm sorry. I just don't get to them. I read YouTube. There's a lot more people on there. Of course, you can also get the audio version of the show on Apple Podcasts by searching the Marijuana Times. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org, all the stories, these videos, and more. Thank you to NatureSide, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Thank you to you, all of you, who watch and listen every day. or at least as much as you can. We're here 5 days a week. Whether you watch or listen or not, you know, watch a couple, watch some, come in, go for 2 weeks, come back. It doesn't matter. We will be here, and we'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.